Good evening. Good riddance. I mean, some of those things out there. Good stuff. Iroquois Foreskin. Hello. Welcome to tonight's live chat on the, what is it, the 19th of March, episode 180. Hard to believe that there are 179 other of these fucking things out there. That's ridiculous.
How much of your life has been spent in a live stream?
Too much, apparently. So we have a special guest tonight. Max of Max's Path is here with us. He's been doing some super cool project thing kind of going on that he's been vlogging. I don't know is that how you say it? Is it vlog or vlog? Either way, you have some videos keeping track of this thing you're doing. So I thought it was be a good idea to bring you on. We could chat a little bit about them. Andrew Smirschberger is here as well.
Here. Who is this indeed?
So tonight's live chat is brought to you by Ammo Supply Warehouse. Best fucking online ammo company in the business. And I say that because the fella who runs it was at training this weekend.
Oh my God.
Like he comes out and uses some of his product. Wait, I've been told if you're a dealer, that's not what you should do. Like you should never use your own product. But regardless, he's out there putting the time in. So good on him. And he's got a coupon code. Tremis10 will save you $10 on any order of more than $100. Oh, and we're also sponsored by Five Rivers Armament, best gun shop in Southeast PA.
I have not been there yet, but I'm looking forward to walking through the door.
I have been there. Walking through the door is not what I expected, although there's a pretty major remodel happening. So,
was there lots of stuff in boxes?
Sure how to help you.
There was a lot of like walls that you can see the studs in, and floors with no tile on them, and things like that. Like major reverberation. I just made up a new word. Reverberation.
It sounds official.
That's for them highfalutin types.
Exactly.
So, Max, you are doing some videos. I'm going to put a link up to the first one. You know why I'm putting a link up to the first one? Because you didn't make it a playlist that I could link to the playlist.
I didn't. You are 100% correct.
Because I thought that would be perfect. And I'd have probably asked you to hurry up and make a playlist, but some folks like to cut it really close when they're logging on to the live chats, like cutting it close time-wise. So I think this is a link for the first video.
Yes. So there's going to be, I think there's a total of 4 filmed. And they're dropping them like every, 4 or 5 days. And like the next one's going to be live Saturday, just going over the line gear. And then my plan was to actually like do some actual like underweight walking with the stuff and do some actual vlog of that.
Nice. So why are you making these videos?
Well,
give me the elevator speech of what the video series is about.
So this is all about getting ready for Wolverine Warfare, and I don't want to be a complete and utter suck fest. For the most part, my stuff kind of goes with me everywhere I go. If it's in my truck, it's kind of been my thing that if I need to get home, I want to be able to get home. If it means that I'm throwing a hoodie on and I got stuff in a bag, that's great. If it means I'm walking around with a chest rig and a rifle and putting rounds in people's faces, that's what I'm doing. But I need to get home no matter what. Obviously, my preference is just to drive home. But if I can't, what do I do? And that's kind of what started this whole thing. And then Wolverine Warfare, when you and Jay talked about it at FAFO a year or so ago, it kind of got all the wheels turning. So I think I did the video as much for me as for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like to make myself accountable. Like, what do I have? What don't I have? What am I missing? What do I need? Like gators and bug repellent, because it's going to be a tick fest and I hate ticks.
Yep.
Getting my comms set up legit so I can actually covertly use them and not just be talking into a radio. Stuff like that. And just showing everything that I have in the vehicle, basically everything that I tore apart for a thing we did, which I don't know if we're talking about openly or not. We should, because fuck those guys that didn't do it yet.
Well, we'll talk a smidgen about it here shortly.
But anyway, like, so that's it. Like getting ready for the class, and in general, just the mind turning of what do I have ready, what don't I have ready, and kind of doing a little bit of pressure testing of it.
Right on. Perfect. So that's been an ongoing thing, probably like the prep phase for Wolverine Warfare has been going on for probably a year, I would say, because it was I want to say February, but it might have been last March, 2024, that we did the first Minuteman Go Bag seminar. And that seminar stemmed from talking to folks who I thought would enjoy the class that was brewing around inside my head, and realizing that we weren't always talking about the same things, even though we were using the same words. So I was like, oh, well, maybe we should put together a little get together at the bar, because that's the best place for seminars, is at a bar, and talk about some definitions of preps and how to organize those preps. Because when people think of being prepared, they tend to go, oh, my basement is stocked full of canned goods. And while that is one perfectly awesome set of things to prepare with, it's not all encompassing, and we were kind of getting lost in the definitions and whatnot. So that, I think that was really the first step, was that seminar a year ago. And to go along with that seminar, you were there at that seminar.
Yeah, it was.
We're going to run another one, I think, the week before Wolverine Warfare. It is not a lot of time for folks to get ready, but I'm hoping maybe if I can convince Mr. Fiore to spend a day hanging out with me, we could film that seminar like before the actual seminar and maybe offer it out to people in a video format.
I think that would be cool.
But it's going to require like more than one person to put all that together.
Yeah.
So to go along with that seminar, something I meant to do way back when the seminar happened, and it didn't because I hate making videos, was put together a video challenge for folks that were at that seminar. And I, being the gracious host that I am, decided I would share it with everyone coming to Wolverine Warfare, even if they weren't one of the ones who were at that original seminar. It's private, or I shouldn't say private, it's unlisted. It's an unlisted video challenge. You did the video challenge a couple days ago, part one?
I did.
So the challenge was, well, you know what? I've hogged enough of the microphone. Go ahead and tell them what the challenge was.
Basically, it was a challenge to get all the stuff that you have ready, that you think you have ready, to go. Basically, get your Minuteman loadout, whatever you consider that to be, and have it all assembled and ready to go inside of 5 minutes.
And I think a good chunk of the people from Wolverine Warfare did the challenge. I don't know if everybody has reported that they've done it, but
about half.
I would say it seems like about half of them have asked me for the video. And we gave them a 5-minute time limit, which is a generous time limit. Although some folks used all of the 5 minutes and still didn't have their shit together. Mm-hmm. Other folks had all their shit together and had time to spare. And some folks didn't realize till later, and I think this is probably more the case with most folks, that they're like, hey, I got everything, I'm good. And then if they went through the stuff, they went, oh, you know what? I missed a couple things.
Yeah.
And that was me too. Like
yeah.
I did it when the day I filmed the video, and also was missing a couple things.
Yeah. Like
I think the big thing that people get out of that or forget out of that is the shit that they use.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, like you go to a class, you use something, or you have a project, so you grab this thing out of like your shed or your vehicle, and then you don't put it back, and then you either put it somewhere else or you've used it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, like, oh, I don't know, batteries, you know, simple things like batteries, or how about a tarp for over your wonderful hammock tent that will just become a hammock bathtub if it rains.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a tarp when you went camping with your kid. So you're like, oh, I've got this tarp here. I'll grab this one. Boom, boom.
Yep.
My son's laughing at me because I believe he was in the vehicle as I was freaking out trying to find a tarp. So
yeah,
like,
where's my shit? What am I missing? And
exactly.
when you're just like totally fucking losing your mind over one thing, and then of course that spirals out of control to where you can't find anything. That's typical of most people when they're struggling with something. Is it exacerbates to the next thing and the next thing. So when you did yours, I know you had some time left.
Yes.
What was the biggest thing that you noticed that you were missing?
For me, the biggest thing is my comm setup. Like it's just like I have the radio, backup radios and all that, but I don't have the ability to wire it into my ear pro in any way, shape, or form. That is a huge hole for me. Again, and then small things like batteries. Like I had plenty of double A's, triple A's that I had no button batteries. So like every one of my red dots.
Yep.
If it was down, it was down.
It was done.
Little things like today, finding out that my chest rig, I need to untape. Like I have this thing, did a wonderful job of gorilla taping this thing, but I now need to ungorilla tape it because it's a little bit too small. Because I haven't worn that rig in probably a year or more.
And you put all that extra muscle on in the year.
Oh yeah, it's all muscle bulk. It can't be anything else.
I knew. I know. I've known you for a little while. I've seen the bulk. The bulking, is that what they call it when you put on muscle?
Exactly. But yeah, so like little things like that. I mean, is it workable? Sure. But like not having a rain cover for whatever your shelter is going to be a suck fest if the weather doesn't go well for you.
Yeah, that's way better than having to take the time and energy to make a hasty shelter out of what Mother Nature has provided you.
Yes. And like things like I wound up investing a little bit of money, like getting decent gaiters, because that's something I've never really messed around with.
Yep.
Adding them to everything, little things like a decent navigation kit instead of just a compass and a map. Can I get by with a compass and a map? Yeah, but it would be nice to actually have navigation stuff to use.
If I was really prepared and we had talked this out ahead of time, I would have a link right now that I could drop on screen for the Tremis Dynamics Land Nav kit, so that I could tell people, look, Max understands you need one, and you can buy yours right here.
Yeah.
But we didn't plot that out because it turns out the live streams are not really a marketing.
And getting in a minute after the time is supposed to start doesn't help with any pre-planning, really.
Not really. Oh, I sent some cockiness in the chat. Fucking Fausty says he loves hanging out with the old guys and realize they aren't in their prime. I probably when they realize, he probably already realized, but
yeah,
that sounds like a young man talking shit on us old timers.
I think that we should find the mean age of the group, and every 5 years below the mean age, they should have to carry an extra 5 pounds of weight.
5 pounds of something that belongs to people 5 years above the mean age.
Yes.
So it's a 10-pound swing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, we might have to institute something like that.
I like torturing cocky young guys. It's fun.
When I ran that drill, and I thought I was fucking squared away. I was like, I'm not going to find anything. And I got out my checklist, which was actually part of a PDF that everybody got that was in the seminar. And I sent one to everyone coming to Wolverine Warfare. But I went through it and realized that I had things that I owned them, but they weren't with my shit.
Yeah.
And one of them was magazine of tracers that I keep in my Alamo bag. And I was like, where the fuck are the tracers? Well, I had taken them out to put them in a rifle to make like an Instagram post.
Yeah.
And because it was a T-mag and it looks cool being able to see through it. And sure as shit, I'd have left the house and that magazine would have been in that rifle that wasn't coming with me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got a spare pair of pants in here. No, the spare pair of pants were in the washing machine, mostly because I forgot to take them out, put them in the dryer, and then would have, potentially put them away. But I had worn them to the range and never got them back where they belong. Those were the two big things I noticed. And I was like, fuck, I had it all prepared to not have any problems. And sure as shit, there were problems.
Whenever Murphy has the opportunity to grab you by the hips, he will.
Yep.
That's just a rule. Like he's gonna fuck you. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how and what position he uses.
And like getting that, I'd say both of us running the drill and most of the folks in the class who have gotten back to me are going to be less fucked than the average bear. And you alluded to in the video episode 1 of your not yet created playlist that it's loosely based off of the Red Dawn movie,
Yes.
which is the greatest documentary ever filmed. Those guys had fuck all and robbed a store. Now, mind you, it was one of the characters' dad's store.
Yes.
But like they just went in with the armload and started scooping like cans of pork and beans.
They said batteries no less than 4 times, and I never saw them grab a battery.
Well, that's like, because no one can find them. Like
when they go and like, make sure to get the batteries. Get the batteries. And I don't think they grabbed any batteries.
And I like it's part of the point of this preparation that we're doing before this class is so that we're not in that same position from that great and wonderful documentary, greatest piece of film history in the history of cinema. I'm going to keep saying that just in case Sonny pops in at some point.
I want to point out one thing. Everyone in the back of that truck in that movie was dead. The scene where they go off the road, they all go flying up in the air, they come down. Everyone in the back of that car is either got vertebrae damage, broken bones, or something. So half their force was cut off immediately because the guy driving the truck was a jackass.
Well, be forewarned that if you have to get into a truck at Wolverine Warfare, we're going to try to recreate that scene the best we can.
Grab hold.
You might want to get on the inside of that.
Yes, yes.
So now what else? So then today, I think it was today, I released part 2 of that drill. And that one's, and in theory, it should be a little more hush-hush because so far, only 2 people have said, I'm ready to do part 2, send me the link. And I sent them the link. So there's still more than a dozen people who have yet to do it, but they're probably not watching this either. So that might be pretty safe that they're not going to get a heads up. But second part of the video was, go ahead, sir.
So second part of the video is now you have your stuff. Now you have to get kitted up and ready to run out the door. You've got all your stuff in front of you. You've got this giant pile of wonderful tactical nylon stuff. Now get kitted up and get out the door.
Yep. The idea behind that was, I mean, you're carrying all your go to war shit. You're probably going to need to use it. And in theory, you should have the option to do it in either order. Like, hey, I'm going to put on all my shit, grab my bags, and we're going to Shinde's shop to defend it from, the Pakistanis.
Meth heads.
But it could be the opposite. Like, hey, we grabbed all the shit and we drove to Easton so that we could gear up when we get there to go defend Shinde's shop. So you can do it either way.
Right.
But this one was more micro. It's the shit. If you still have your stuff all around from part one of the drill, like, it was real easy. It's right there. Just open it up and put it on. And some folks, their setup is so elaborate they need help to get dressed. And I don't think that's ideal for like the average armed citizen. If you have a team of people that are going to go do direct action, like, hey, I'm putting on my parachute and I need the other guy to do a check from the back, and he tugs on all the straps to make sure they're all tight and that kind of thing. Okay, but bro, we might be going by ourselves. Like, you got to fucking dress your shit, and can you do it in a time frame that's reasonable? If it takes you 20 minutes to get ready, I'm not saying anything about anybody's wives and how long it takes them to get ready, but like, the fight will fucking be over. So it was then it turned into, well, I got all this stuff. Is it organized well enough that I can put it on? And that's something we probably didn't get into as much in that Go Bag seminar, was the individual packing. But the reality is that you should not have the pants underneath the boots, because you're probably going to put the pants on first.
But even besides that, like, let's say you have something like this, right? There's a bunch of nylon straps on this. If you have this thing just thrown in a bag, you go to yank this thing out, it's going to take you 5 minutes to untangle the damn thing.
Yep.
So like how do you have your stuff staged? And I love the idea of focusing on that, because it's one of those simple things you can do as a discipline, that when you put your stuff away, you put it away the same way you pulled it out. And that way, if you actually need it and you do that enough, it's just repetition.
I know, folks, I've had students come to class to rifle classes, and they throw on their chest rig. They dig into their trunk and go, oh no, I left all my ammo at home. It can happen. All right, man. Well, I got a can of ammo over there. Use whatever you need and just replace it. Like,
right.
If you're coming back to class tomorrow, or I see you next week or whatever, just keep track of what you used and replace it. Do you have any magazines? Well, you have a chest rig. Like, aren't your magazines in the chest rig? Oh no, I don't keep them there. Oh, but why not? It's like those pouches were made for magazines.
Well, I mean, if you put the magazine in the pouch with the bullets and you leave it there too long, it could compress the polymer to the point where it can't run anymore. I'm sure
that's what it is.
Somewhere where someone has said that.
It's all over the interwebs.
Right.
Like, the only things I can see where that might not be the case would be electronic things, only because the batteries are likely to be dead.
Yes.
If they sit there a long time.
Yes.
So there should be and we talked about this in the seminar, a system that you have for keeping electronic things charged, or fresh batteries available if they're non-rechargeable types. And that may have to be separate, so you can put them on a charging station. I get that, but of course, then there's a way to like fucking prepare for that too. Like, if you have a radio that fits on a cradle, okay, well, that cradle should be somewhere like near your gear, so that if you're like, hey, I gotta grab my shit, you can pluck that thing right off of it. You could throw it in the bag, throw it in your pocket, and be like, hey, when I get dressed, I can pull that thing out and stuff it where it needs to go. But they don't think that far ahead. And I was like, we could think far, plan a little bit ahead. And that was kind of
Like,
the whole
like you
point, really.
should have an extra battery for everything that you're running. Like you should have an extra battery for your flashlight. You should have an extra charged battery. Lithium batteries, they're a thing.
Yep.
For everything that you have, you should have spare batteries, so that
Yeah.
if you need to, you can switch it out. When you do your smoke detectors, change the batteries and all your shit. That
Yep.
way, if they're saying 3 years lifespan and I'm doing it every 6 months, no matter what, I'm good to go.
Exactly. And those other ones, those ones you take out, I have a tote in my office for, it says batteries. It's got a bunch of new batteries in it. I use that to restock all of my portable battery carriers that are in backpacks and range bags and that kind of thing. But I also, the tote right beside it has a bunch of partially used batteries that I take to classes that we do low light shit in. So when students come and their flashlight dies and they're begging for batteries, I'm like, hey, I have these partial batteries. You're all free to use as many of those as you want. So I get, pay it forward and give my hand me downs to the people who weren't prepared.
Well, it's like I do it more for like just side jobs, because if I'm like in a hallway working in an apartment, there's no outlets, so I have a little Blue Eddy battery bank, a big one,
Yep.
and I everywhere I go because I can recharge my batteries. I can run not every plug-in will work off of it because if they demand too much amperage, but I could charge the hell out of people's phones, GPSs, whatever, out of that thing, you know. Just
Yep.
like I have in my car a bag that I put together. It's a rifle class in a bag. It's like it's 3 of Andrew's bandoliers loaded, ready to go, and iPro and EarPro, so I can hand stuff out if I need to, or if a class pops up and I can take it, I can just go take it.
I actually think you just said something magical. My Alamo bag, it has a bunch of magazines in it, all full of awesome Defiant munitions, 55 grain ammo, some DDM, and some TCX. Probably 20 mags full in there, plus the 8 I think that I got on my shit. Sitting right behind the camera are 2 of Andrew's bandoliers. One is in green, and the other one is in AR2. A rare, I believe, 1 of 1.
No, I know for a fact it's 1 of 1.
So feeling pretty stoked about that. I should put those magazines from the Alamo bag in the bandolier and then put the bandolier back in the bag.
Yep.
So in the Alamo bag, there is the possibility to grab half a dozen mags on a fucking strap and take those without having to take the whole bag, or hand that to somebody else. Like I'm not handing that someone my whole fucking Alamo bag. Like I brought those fucking bullets for me. Although sometimes it's getting big enough, I might need a Sherpa to carry it for me. But yeah, like literally the Alamo bag is
say hello.
23 inches.
Say goodbye.
Oh. The Alamo bag is like 23 inches from my left foot, and the bandoliers are like 3 feet beyond that. And I have not put them together, and I think they would go together like chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah, and he was smart in the fact that he's got a little piece of shock cord. So honestly, when he first made that, I had zero interest. I was like, yeah, okay, great, awesome. I'll buy one because you're my brother. But then he showed how small it folds over, and then he's got a little bit of shock cord. You put the strap inside of the fold, and you put the shock cord around the buckle, and it like stays. And I was like, that is money.
He's pretty clever about designing stuff. Oh, look, there he popped up in the chat.
And yes, there should be a video about it. Yes, Andrew, come film it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you would like to come up here, Andrew, we can film it whenever you like.
He has to stop talking about conspiracies long enough to do the filming, though. That's the tough part.
Well, see, here's the problem. We can film it right here in this studio. This studio is meant for filming.
Yes.
It has an awesome backdrop, and it's tall enough ceilings that Andrew can stand in here beside me. But there is a prerequisite that you have to eat bacon at the doorway to get in. And he's got this weird pork thing going on. I don't know.
He's been, you know what it is? He spent too much time around soap, and it's just slowly worked at his brain.
Like the lie is eating into his fucking gray matter.
Yeah, exactly. Because saying you don't like bacon, I mean, that's like
I don't. It's hard to trust a man that doesn't eat bacon.
I mean, he does eat bacon. He wears shirts that have that idiot from Cuba on it, and those brain matter's being splattered over here. But like,
is that the guy that invented the sandwich?
Who it could be.
Trying to read some comments here, see if I missed. Like I forgot people were actually saying things. Steven brings up a good point. Dual fuel is a great thing when it comes to having battery backups, because you can put more than one kind in there. And different companies, dual fuel means a different thing.
Yes.
Like Surefire says, oh, you can use an 18650 or two 123s, whereas Princeton Tech says you can use a single AA or a single 123. But the principle is there is a contingency battery plan, which is pretty stellar.
Oh, there's Andrew. Pork is just shitty beef that probably has human DNA in it.
Well, I mean,
I don't care. It tastes good.
I've never put any of my DNA inside of any pork, but or any beef.
And what are they doing in Florida with these wild hogs? I mean, it's kind of scary. That's why they're so angry.
Yeah,
they're putting their DNA in them.
I mean, I guess maybe in my younger days, I may have pumped some DNA into a pig. But man, come 1:30 at the bar, you take what you can get. Anyway,
yeah. But anyways, I think the Go Back seminar with a preface of the idea of, you know, organizing your stuff a little better, or you know, a little deeper dive into it, I think would be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, I would like to be able to do. I mean, I think the seminars, I prefer that because there's dialogue, like we can talk. Yeah. But I think I could see me enjoying filming video, like a video series of that seminar, and each part of the series would be a different, basically, because there's a PowerPoint for that. One of the 2 PowerPoints I've ever made in my life. And then go like, because we talk about like the different lines of gear, which is how you're doing your video series, and like do a line on the 0 line, the first line, the second line, the third line, and then break that down. After that, in the seminar we talk about different types of bags being staged for whatever you're going to use them for, and how you keep those different lines stored. However, and each one of those being its own video, where there'd be a whole series then that you could watch. Twofold problem is that's a lot of work, and I don't make any fucking money at YouTube, and I don't even have a monetized channel anymore. And 2, the flip side of that is, I don't make no money because I wouldn't make it on a seminar anymore either, because people won't come to it; they would just watch the videos. So like there's 2 hangups to making the video.
I think you could probably get, like, most of the people that would be willing to, or that would have it ready, you could have the Wolverine class people like show up with their shit, and they're going to be way more interactive just because of all this prep coming up to it. So I think it might be more engaging from the simple fact that instead of, 10 people watching 2 people go through their stuff, it could literally be a full download of what each person has done to that point.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that they are going to be doing the class, and there is such a focus on, going with what you got. I really do think that it could be way more interactive than the first one was.
Yeah, I think it could be. Yeah, of course, the first one, anytime you run into hiccups and things you'd like to streamline, things you'd like to go into more detail in. Monsieur Becker has joined us.
Yes, indeed.
Hopefully he sees his logo in the background. He did pay for it, so I thought of some things to make it a little smoother going the next time. I thought about, ideally, and this would require more legwork on my part, the different things we talk about, to have the example live in person. So, hey, I'm going to talk about first line gear, and have somebody, like a real hot chick, of course, model some first line gear, the gun belt and all that kind of thing. That's it. Naked other than the gun belt.
I like it.
Yep. And then when we get to second line gear, she's naked except for the plate carrier. I think that would be it would go over. It'd be a big hit.
How else could you really do it? I mean, it really seems like the only way.
Because if she were wearing other stuff, you'd be like, wait, are the pants part of the first line or the second line? But no question here. There are no pants, and we're only talking about the second line. So pants are not part of it.
By hot chick, do you mean John Frost? I just want to make sure that we're clear who we're talking about, because you could be referring to him that way. And if that's the case, you may get less people to show up to the class.
Probably not.
Okay.
And I say this because I put a picture of him once on Instagram from a class, like I took a downrange photo, and I think it is, from all the pictures I've ever put up that haven't been shared by other companies, it is my most viewed picture, and it certainly is the one that has got me the most new followers. And
nice.
It's a picture of John looking retarded. So maybe what I need is John.
And maybe you do. Bring out all the latent homosexuality in the group and just throw it at their face. I told him the next time I see him, he better be wearing a damn shirt that I got him.
Is it bright green and bright red and bright yellow all in the same shirt?
No, it's black with green lettering and a red star where my round hit him in the shoulder. The piece of the jacket that got him.
Okay, that part I can see putting red on it.
It says he shot me, and on the back it says, I don't think it was on purpose.
Because for future reference, the colors green and the colors red don't go together.
Well, unless it's Christmas.
Christmas is a terrible holiday.
I hope you noticed that all the Wolverine, all the logos I've put up have been just yellow and black.
Very classy.
Even though my stupid program wants to add red, every time it wants to revert to red as the background on it, and I'm like, fuck. Okay, redo that again. It's very annoying.
Let's see. Steven says he doesn't think he can make the second seminar. Well, good. Because I want you to struggle somewhat when you get out into the woods. And I say that because Steven has done exceptionally well at listening, taking information, digesting it all, and then putting it into action with preparing for this class. So if he gets too prepared, it'll be easy. And then we'll have to make it harder on purpose instead of just allowing him to create his own difficulties.
Well, you can just say, Steven, you did a wonderful job. You're so prepared. Really impressed. Leave it all at the truck. You are going to be the first person that raids the other students in the class. Go. Will Crutcher says you need me to wear a plate carrier naked for your video.
Well, Will, if you want to drive your ass all the way here from Texas, I'll put you in the video. In fact, when you're naked and we film it, I will use my editing skills afterwards to put a prosthetic limb hanging down, and then we'll blur that out, but we'll make it go well below your knee.
Nice.
So
just take the actual picture of that black guy sitting on the edge of the bed that was in every meme everywhere, and find the actual photo and just edit that out and put that in place.
Now we're talking. I don't know who that dude is, but
I have no idea. I just know that it's been everywhere. It's been blanketed across the internet.
And if I wanted to find that that picture, all of the terms that I can come up with that I would search for, getting Google to find that photo for me, are not anything I'd ever want left in my search history.
That's what isn't that what incognito mode is for, or whatever the hell that is?
I think so. I think so.
But
I did
so
get a message on my phone a second ago. Somebody asked if there were any more spots for Wolverine Warfare, and the answer is no. In fact, I just added somebody yesterday morning, so it's now oversold. But they got permission from Jay to get added, so
they're the ones tied to the tree starting off.
probably. I will say that you do get another medic. We're pretty solid on medics. We're gonna have, nearest I can figure, between students and staff members, like that would be instructors or role players. We're going to have an ER doctor, a paramedic, and 2 nurses.
That's a pretty hefty group.
Yeah, we should be. Usually, the guy that went to EMT school is the lead medic. I don't got to do shit.
Can't do nothing. So if anyone really gets hurt or a major cut, there's like instantly going to be 5 tourniquets on them.
Yes. and someone's gonna be like, "Why is it on his neck?" I'm like, that's a Rule 8 violation.
Everything. But yeah, it would be fun to watch. Like, as 4 people try to put a tourniquet on at the same time, and he just bleeds out because they couldn't decide who was going to go first.
Jack asks, he heard that Andrew's coming back to PA, and he is. I'm digging over to my calendar so I can make sure I don't give the wrong dates. Andrew will be up here the 19th and 20th of April.
Nice.
That is Easter weekend. Oh, and the 21st. Sorry. Force on Force. Andrew and I are doing some collaborative Force on Force that weekend. You can sign up on Andrew's website or on my website.
Nice.
So that is happening.
I'm in Florida or Texas. I saw that him, Sonny, and Lewis were doing a little post-class chat.
Yep.
And it was a hit, and it will now be 3 days instead of 2, which I'm not surprised by. And it'll be happening again down there. So that sounds like that'll be a thing, which is awesome.
Yes, that will be pretty. Next time that happens, hopefully they schedule it like whatever one they're going to do in 2026. It'd be awesome if they scheduled that in the next 2 months, so I could arrange my schedule to be able to drive down there for it.
You expect Andrew to plan that far ahead?
Well, my problem is I plan that far ahead and I miss a lot of shit because I schedule stuff on top of other things.
Yeah.
And then I get irritated with everyone.
Which makes you more miserable, which in turn
makes me more happy. Yeah. It's quite the conundrum.
It is indeed. So where is the class with Andrew going to happen? Dark Range or?
Yep, at the Dark Side Range. It's going to be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're doing Saturday is well, of course I don't have it listed there. I think I have it listed over here. Scroll down. Proving Grounds. Then Sunday is Killing Fields, and Monday is Art of the Bad Guy. Now, Killing Fields happens on Sunday, which is Easter.
Appropriate.
I thought so too. Like we got a story of a zombie, and we're gonna go out and have a class called Killing Fields. Like, it just seems like the tie-in is perfect. That was really all Andrew's doing. So he must be some sort of Jesus hater.
But if that's the case, then really you should quantify it as only headshots, because the only way to kill a zombie is to shoot him in the head.
Yes, that's a rule.
Right.
What was that? What rule was that? You folks out there watching, tell us what rule headshots is. I only remember 2 of them, cardio and headshots.
Oh, yes, that's right. Zombieland.
Yep.
Maybe Woody Harrelson's greatest role he ever did. Possibly.
It is really good. And
It's
I
very
can't,
good.
nothing's popping up on top of my mind that for anything better. I can think of some that were worse, like Hunger Games.
He was good in Kingpin.
Kingpin. Oh, wasn't that the something to do with bowling?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've seen it.
Oh, it's good. Bill Murray is very good in it.
Like, I just don't remember anything about it, so maybe I haven't.
He plays a pathetic, washed-up bowler, which really that seems like you don't need to say that. You just say bowler.
Yeah, like those all words are all synonymous.
Exactly.
Somebody out there likes bowling and they're pissed off at you right now.
I don't care.
I enjoy bowling. I even have my own bowling ball, which would fit well in with Fausti's idea that I'm old and past my prime. As long as we're mentioning Andrew coming up here and classes on the schedule, I do want to mention something. I'll see if I can't throw it here at the bottom of the screen. In this December 10th through the 14th, that's must be like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We are doing fish 1, 2, 3, 3.5, and 6 back to back up in Scranton. Just added that to the website. Maybe I did it yesterday. Either way.
That is one class like. There's certain classes that I really this year I want to make a priority to go to. One being fish something, and also entangled gunfighting and retention shooting with
Zach.
Like those classes because I had plans to do all that and then went to Florida to train with Sonny. And I talked to Zach when it happened, and Zach's like, I too would be going to Florida and training with Sonny if given the option. So, but I definitely want to make like it a priority, and I definitely want to make a priority for the fish stuff because it is just after doing the stuff where we did the Force on Force with Sonny, like I need to work on my moving through buildings thing.
Well, I mean, you're nearly the size of a building, so I can see where there's a.
I did find that aggressive just blowing through doorways and knocking over furniture was effective at keeping from getting shot.
That is true. What's great is they just recently changed the layout of the shoot house a little bit. So it has thrown some curveballs to folks. We were up there for a fish workshop last weekend. And so it was entertaining to watch people evolve through a house they no longer knew the layout of very as well.
That first main room is just like there's so many ways to die.
It's a great ambush spot for sure.
There's so many different ways that you can die going into that first main room. It's like pick something and go because you'll spend in half an hour trying to see every corner in that first room. It's insanity.
So. For anybody out there listening, I've been doing recently fish as I did fish 1 month and fish 2 the next month and fish 3 the next month, and so it's easier for people to not have to commit so much time in one chunk. Fish 1, it is starting over in April, end of April, the 20 something. So for folks that are thinking about jumping into the progression of the fish classes, it is happening in April, and there won't be another fish 1 until the one in December, because I think I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 3.5, and then a couple months of no fish because the weather's great and I'm going to spend my weekends outside instead of inside.
I don't blame you. Sonny commented the first room is call Air Force. I agree.
I mean, if you own a flamethrower, that's a good room to use it in.
Damn straight. And really, once you start there in the room of the flamethrower, you really don't have to do much else.
No. We brought a flamethrower to the small unit tactics study group on Sunday.
Nice.
The kind of things people miss when they don't come to study groups.
Yes.
I wasn't throwing shade your way, except I was throwing shade your way.
Included in that mix.
The other thing that's on my list of things that I had to mention was the see if I can't make a copy of this. Oh, there we go. I can do it that way. Awesome. I will type that up there. So, book of the week. Had to do grab one off the shelf that I have not read probably within the last 6 or 7 months, maybe even up close to a year since I've read it. But it is probably one of the few books that I own the paperback, the hardback, the Kindle version, and the audiobook. And I think I've probably purchased the paperback for 5 or 6 other people. I gifted it out. And the book is The Way of Men by Jack Donovan. The reason I bought the hardback was because I wanted to get it signed. I truly believe anybody that has a Y chromosome needs to read the book. It is a book about masculinity, and it is what I would consider the best book on the subject. I met Jack at a after party at Shot some years ago that Mookie had. So Mookie had rented like a suite in a hotel and had a big shindig in it. And so I found my way up there. It was in the same hotel I was staying in. And so I found my way up to the shindig and saw a bunch of my friends. And then I was talking to the guys from Shoot Steel. And I got a beer in my hand, and and I look over and did like the double take, and I was like, "Don't look." And then I said to the guys from Shoot Steel, I'm like, "Don't look, but over my right shoulder, I'm pretty sure that's Jack Donovan." And of course, they all went,
"Who?"
Looked, and then went, "Who the fuck's Jack Donovan?" I'm like, "An author, The Way of Men?" And they were like, I'm like, "Do any of you know how to read? Buy the book." And I think that interaction with them was what made me start gifting the book to people. Like I should just have one to hand out.
Yeah.
I did go stop and talk to him before I left, but I didn't want to fangirl. So I just stopped and said, "Oh, hey, Jack, great to meet you. Just want to let you know I love your stuff." "Oh, thanks, man. You take it easy." And then out I went. I was like, "Man, I played it cool." But it's a great book. He's written a number of books. All of them are awesome. But where to start is with The Way of Men. And, if you got testicles, that's the book for you.
He's probably thinking to himself, how did that fucker even recognize me? I'm an author.
I'm an author who is bald, huge, muscular, huge, and he's unique looking.
Yeah.
So I got my book of the week in there too.
Yeah, I've started digging into the audiobook thing because I really have never done it before. So I started with a book that I knew well. Got very lucky with the guy that was doing the audio for it. He did a very, very good job.
Because I don't do a lot of those, but I will say that the person reading it can make or break the fucking book.
Because the second book that I purchased, he ruined it for me. It was I suffered through it, but completely ruined it. It's no. So
I think if anybody clicks the link for the book, I'm going to go check just to make sure before I don't speak out of turn. The Kindle version is currently $6.
That's pretty good.
Paperback's $14, hardcover's $33, audiobook it says is $20. does also say that it's in my library, so does the Kindle one. But $6 for a Kindle book.
I can't do the
order the book. Awesome.
Yeah, I can't do the electronic reading thing. It just bothers me so much. It's either paper or the audio is good, but I gotta have it in my hands. Like, I don't know.
I prefer paper. My second choice is Kindle, but it's a Kindle. Like, it ain't a Kindle Fire. It's not a tablet. It's not a phone. It's not an LCD screen of any type. It is a Kindle Paperwhite. So it reads like paper. Like, it treats my eyes like paper does.
Yep.
And people are like, when they see it, they look at that and go, "Is that an e-reader?" Yes. And they're like, "What is this? Like fucking 2003?" I'm like, "Oh, like, I like to read, and I like to read a lot, and this makes it easy on my eyes. Doesn't give me a headache like screens do."
Oh, and by the way, the battery lasts like a year.
Yeah, the battery's awesome. Oh, Garmin makes a GPS with the same e-ink screen, and it's solar powered. So if you have it out and use it, the battery on it is infinite. Like, that's what it says, like infinite battery. The sun will charge it faster than you can use it.
That's pretty cool.
The only downside is it does not come with any maps. It's only for like finding waypoints that you leave. So there's no topo lines. They said the topo lines would eat into the battery life. And I was like, okay, I'll take like a 30-day battery life and topo lines over infinite. And
yeah, I need to take my GPS. I messed around with it a little bit. I got whatever Mike recommended something at some point in in the group, and I was like, okay, it's on sale. Click. But I need to take it to him and be like, okay, now show me how to use this thing.
I know he's doing a GPS class.
I know he is.
I don't remember when, but
I don't remember when either. But
if he were listening, he could put a link up right on the.
He could.
Because he is. Oh, I forgot to put the fucking link for the book. I think I forgot to put the link for the book.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
But he's a moderator on my channel, so he actually can put links in it.
Right.
Well, Stephen, he does recommend the eTrex 22. He also recommends it's the 22X now, I believe. He also recommends the GPS Map 60 or 66. So it depends whether you want a small portable or a larger screen with the whatever.
Yeah, the one he recommended that I purchased was a little small portable one.
Yep, probably the 22X. I have the eTrex 20, so it's like a few generations older than the 22. I love that thing. And I found out, for those of you who are wondering, if you go into the menu and turn the brightness all the way to off, you can read it under night vision.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And you can't see it otherwise it looks black.
That's pretty cool.
They don't tout that. I was just playing with it. Of course, you got to take your night vision and like change the focus distance to right in front of your face. But yeah, you can turn it low enough to use it under nods.
I don't know if you saw in the group, RJ was 3D printing battery housings for night vision.
No, I did not see that.
Yes.
I don't really do groups, so I'm sure I'm not in the group that it was being talked about.
I'm not sure which group it was. I think it was PA Social Group.
Yep, not in it.
Okay. But yeah, he was doing he 3D printed the housing, and he was saying it's going to be storage, counterweight, but he also is going to figure out a way to wire it up.
That's pretty awesome.
And I said to him, I guarantee you could sell a bunch of those to a lot of people that you know.
Yes, because I know I've been buying the shit out of Nod Pods. That's nodpod.us, and all they make is 3D printed battery. Well, we got a couple other things, but the name of the company's Nod Pod, and the Nod Pod is battery counterweights for.
Yeah, I bought one because of the last Go Bug Out Bag seminar. I was like, that is a nice little svelte way to like carry some batteries.
Yep. All right. I think that's everything I had on my list that needed chatted about. Because we're an hour in. I didn't want to miss something on the list talking about Wolverine Warfare, a class that the people who here can't even fucking buy.
That's actually kind of fun.
Can you make a video of that under night vision? I'm curious about screens. Well, I can do a lot of things, but
Really?
now he says if you feel like making a video, because I hate making videos. However, I could literally just kill all the lights in this room and make the video here. I don't have to really go anywhere to make that video, so that does make it a little easier.
What you should do is, if you're going to do that, grab a bunch of different electronics and see differences while you have the lights on and you have the setup connected to your night vision.
Yes, that's not a bad idea. Actually, I wish I had a colored screen GPS like the big one that Mike recommends, but I don't own one.
Because me and Josh were talking about it, and they were just going to like what you would recommend to people that don't know what to bring, and we both said the same thing at the same time: vet wrap of some kind to wrap all the shit that is going to be like a giant blinking beacon to anyone that has night vision on.
And some people are going to have night vision.
Yes.
Stephen, yes, there are options for running external power. Most of the dual tube units have a LEMO port in them so that you can just run a battery pack with the cable around to it. There are aftermarket housings for PVS 14 monoculars that allow you to do the same thing, but the standard PVS 14 does not have that port on it, so you got to buy the other housing, and I want to say that housing is hundreds of dollars, and then you got to be savvy enough to disassemble a PVS 14 and reassemble a PVS 14. And of all the things I own and I'm willing to take apart, my nods are not one of them.
No. Now, I think a lot of the digital ones is kind of part of the package. Like it's actually a detractor because you have to have this giant battery counterweight on the back of your head, you know, if you're going to run the digital ones. Like whatever that I can't psionics or whatever the hell.
Yep, the psionics.
Yeah.
I tried wearing a psionics on my head. The whatever millisecond delay that it has was more than I could happily stay upright. With my movement being a little faster than my visual cues of where it messed with my proprioception. Enough that I was like, I don't like this. However, I think they're awesome for videoing night vision stuff. If you put that thing on a tripod, you want to get some video of guys doing their cool night vision shit. Because the other option is to put a PVS 14 on like a DSLR on a tripod, and that's expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
I think also
$5,000.
They might be a really good option for just an application where you're just overlooking an area, because then you're not moving with it; it's stationary.
Right, you're not checking where your foot is falling based off of what visual cues you're getting.
And I mean, I think it's incredible what they do for the price. Like for like $500 to $700, it's pretty incredible what they're doing with it.
Yeah, it's pretty okay. Like I don't want anyone to think I'm shit talking them. I just think they have a purpose.
Yeah.
Steven says you'd have to have it purged with nitrogen when you change the housings, don't you? I think so. I've never had it apart to know which things come apart. Like at what point of your disassembly now requires it to be purged again? So I don't know.
No. No. Like I'm not that kind of money, and then it all just go poof. No.
Now I would send it to someone who does that kind of thing.
Yes.
And because like if I'm gonna buy like a new housing for like $500 to put my $3,500 PVS in, I would also pay someone a couple $100 to do it for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Sam Houston does that as a side gig. He'll do work like that on night vision. And I would just be like, hey, here, I bought this and I own this. And can you make them together for me? Thanks. And here's some money.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, so we've been here for a little over an hour. I think we talked a little bit about the phases of getting prepared for Wolverine Warfare. So if anybody out there that has watched this tonight, if you're still here an hour into it and you want to participate in the modern Minuteman challenges that I have made videos for, and you know how to get a hold of me in a manner that isn't leaving a comment on YouTube, let me know and I'll hook you up with the link and you can let me know how it worked out for you. And if not, that's fine. You don't have to do it. Even the people who are coming to this class who should want to do it, not all of them have done it. But I will throw that out there for any diehards who have stayed for the last hour. And I guess that's all Max, where can these guys find your videos series that isn't quite yet made into a playlist but will be soon?
Will be on Max's Path on YouTube, and same thing on Instagram, and I think I even have it set up for that for Facebook. But YouTube, it's up there.
Awesome. I am going to see if I can't add a link, because if I click that, it'll autoplay, but I'm going to hit pause. Then I'm going to click on your channel. So now I have the URL just for the entire channel. I'm going to throw that up right in the comment box here. So there is the YouTube channel. So I'm looking at the photo that you have, the big backdrop header photo, whatever the fuck they call that, on your YouTube channel, and there's a fence and a path and some fog and grass and stuff. Is that your photo, or is it just a cool photo?
Oh, like it is a very cool photo, and I remember when I was trying to think of a name for the channel, because originally it was just my name, and it just seemed weird, like, to be my name. So I was trying to figure out like a name for the channel. I was kind of like going through all. My daughter wanted me to name it Backyard Sasquatch is what she wanted me to name it.
Idiot in the backyard with a GoPro.
Idiot in the backyard with a GoPro. But anyway, I saw that picture and I was like, wow, I want to go there. Like that, I want to go to wherever that picture is. And then that kind of the path and the thing. So that was kind of the inspiration for the name of the channel.
Do you know where that is? Have you used like Google image search?
Yes, it is in England, unfortunately.
Oh, that's really far.
It is. It's actually in Wales.
Well, that's not England. They're both in Great Britain, but not in England. I'm sure the Welsh folks are like ready to strangle you now.
Well, if there's any Welsh people watching, then they're more than welcome to this free intro.
Then awesome. Interestingly enough, there was a picture I saw once and I went, I don't know where that is, but it is the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. And I had to, it was of a lake. So I started searching Google terms, because this was like before Google had an image search that at least I was aware of. And, like beautiful lakes near mountains. And I got a lot of shit in Canada. And I was like, no, it ain't the right one. And then finally realized it was Grinnell Lake in Glacier National Park. And I said, that is it. I have to go there. I need to be there. And of course, Fiore and I took our wives and we went there a few years back. And I was very content having gone. I stood in the spot and took a photo from the same spot the original photo that got my attention was. So I will say that it is a very enjoyable adventure to, go find your path in Wales. So although I'm not going with you because I don't want to go to the UK. I'm pretty sure when I land at London, I'm probably going to be arrested for things I've put on the internet. So
arrested. They're just going to execute you right there. Listen, we're not going to bother with this. We're not going to bother the trial. We're just going to shoot you now. You understand. We understand. It's all good.
Yeah. So
They're arresting people for their YouTube comments. They're going to their house, knocking on their door, and arresting people for comments that they're making on social media.
Anytime they're feeling froggy, like, I have an address.
You need to get those positional claymores set up first, though.
No, I don't think I need to even work that hard. Besides, I have a nice slope metal roof that if I drop hand grenades out the windows, they find their way to the people who are downstairs. So, also a scene right out of Red Dawn, greatest documentary in cinematic history.
I think Sonny disagrees with you.
He did pop in earlier, but I don't. It was after the other Red Dawn comment, so I figured I'd throw one in case he was still hanging around. All right, so with that, we told them where they can find you. Check out the videos of how you're preparing for this class. And Iroquois Foreskin says he's debating on getting a thermal monocular, or he says a thermal monocle, like Colonel Klink. I don't think they make a thermal monocle, but
like Colonel Klink.
Schultz.
If he shows up to class with a thermal and he holds it with his eye like this, like Colonel Klink, he should just win. You get to eat steak every night. You get to hang out with the instructors. You win.
Well, I mean, I've seen his gear. I think he has a few things he should square away before he worries about thermal monocle. He too has done both part 1 and part 2 of the drill, so I'm keeping tabs on how he's doing, and he's got some. The boy needs to buy some pants before he's about a monocle.
Here's something to throw out there. Maybe the pants that you wear every day should be pants you can fight out of.
Could be. I think he might work in an office where he might be more stuck on dress code. Maybe.
There's certain situations where you don't have a choice what you have to wear. But if you have the choice, if you're out on the weekend and you're not at work, maybe wear the clothes you can fight out of.
Yep. I got to admit, when I did that drill last night, it was one of the few times, well, not few times, I was in a position where I had to put pants on because I was wearing shorts. And I was like, yep, shorts are not what I want to be wearing here.
No.
All right. So with that, let's pop smoke, get out of here. And we will, I'll catch up with you. Are you going out to 7 Syndicate this weekend? I should see you then on Sunday.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to go help Mike with his classes out there.
Perfect. I'm going to come out and heckle him during the shotgun portion.
No pressure, Zach being there for it.
None whatsoever. First time I was at Zach's shotgun class, I also heckled Zach too. So, I'll be well prepared. I have practice.
Exactly.
All right, sir. It has been great talking to you. For everybody else, we'll see you all next Wednesday.